Are you a manager who's currently working for an SME or a medium-sized organization, and you've seen this opportunity in a large organization and you're wondering, should I make a move? Will this work for my career? What are some of the things that I need to consider if I'm looking to transition from an SME to a large organization? So I have been a recruiter. I have been in the HR space for the last 12 years. And I interact with senior professionals who are looking to grow, develop in their career. And most of the time, there's always this attraction of a large organization. So whether it's the government, whether it's the large NGOs, whether it's the multinationals, you'll agree with me, there's something special, that someone feels, especially if you've never worked for one, when it comes to working for a large organization. We know the reasons why. It could be because of the money. We associate large organization with ability to pay, ability to give you benefits, ability even to offer you much more in terms of allowances. You also do feel proud when you're working for a large organization, because reason being, these organizations also, they have a recognizable brand. So if you're working for Safaricom, if you're working for the likes of the banking industry standard, you'll agree with me that it does feel nice. Again, if you've never worked there, because also there's the other side of the story. And so today I want us to look at what is the other side of the story. More so, what are some of the things that large companies don't do very well? So today's video is for you who's in management, in an SME, and you're wondering whether is the grass greener when it comes to working for these large organizations. So the first thing you need to note is that there's a very high level of specialization when it comes to a large company. Why? Because large organizations are very well structured. And that works for the organization. But what about the individual? What about you as the manager? What about you as this senior professional who's looking to grow? So the disadvantage with specialization is that you'll find that you're only handling a very small docket. And so the probability, the chances of you being exposed, being stretched, they are not there as compared to a medium-sized organization. So if you feel that you are done with specialization, you are done with knowing only one aspect of the business or department, then working for a large organization may not be a good idea. We always equate large organization with job security, but is that the case? Does it mean that if you're working for a large organization, then your job is secure? And fortunately, in my experience, it's not always the case. When it comes to large organization, you find for them, when it comes to doing away with a department, doing away with an individual, I would say they make very fast decisions. And being fired, being retrenched without a second thought, it's something that comes very easy for large organizations. It's not to mean that small companies, SMEs don't practice this, no. However, when it comes to the large organization, you find that because your contribution is not really felt at a personal level, then doing away with you or the department is very easy. Reason being, assume now you're working for government and all of a sudden they decide that we no longer need the Nairobi Metro and a mess. I don't know what they are going, it's Nairobi Metropolitan, is it services or something like that? If now the constitution says we don't need them, tomorrow, guess what? You just receive letters and either you'll be deployed to another department, or if they don't have somewhere else to take you, guess what? That's the end of your job and even career with that organization. So job security is not as assured as we normally think. The other point is that you have really to be visible for you to grow in a large organization. Reason being, if you are 10, 20, 15, or even 30 of you in a department, then it's not as easy to stand out. Why? Because it's very tough competition. If you're working for a small organization, it's probably 1, 2, or 3 of you. So your manager will be able to see your potential, they'll be able to see your contribution. Have you ever wondered why it's not very easy, even to your salary to be increased, if you're working for a large organization as opposed to a small organization is because your contribution, your visibility is not as easily seen as if you're working for a small organization. So here you are putting all your effort, and yet John or Jane on the other side, they are doing the bare minimum. Unfortunately, if you're in the same job group, and that is how large organizations operate, all of you will be deemed to be at the same level. So when it comes to large organization, you have to work extra hard for you to be visible. And that goes hand in hand to my next point, which is, are you good at office politics? Reason being, if there's somewhere where office politics thrives, it's the large organization. Think about government, think about large NGOs, think about all these companies that are always in the news. People, most of the time, it's about who you know, it's about the camps, it's about who you associate with. Obvious, I'm not saying that they don't practice professionalism, but you find because of the nice opportunities that are there, then you find people will do everything it takes so that they get to the next level. There's always, when it comes to work, there's always this option, there's always this idea of work should speak for me, the quality of work should speak for me. Now, when it comes to large organization, you need to do more than doing a good job. If it comes to SMEs, the small firms, good work will get you by. It will get you to the next level. But if you just do good work in a large organization and you don't know how to play the office politics, unfortunately, then you may not be able to go very far. And now, having looked at those 4 points, my last point is, a lot of times when it comes to large organization, people get into a comfort zone. Yes, here you're being paid a salary which is above the market rate, you have all these benefits, you have the medical cover, you have the house allowance, you are working in a company that is recognizable in the society, and so people look up at you, they admire you. So most of the time, a lot of times we get into a comfort zone. And that is why if there are people who are hard hit when it comes to things like redundancies and retrenchment, it's people who have worked in a large organization. Why? Because they get into a comfort zone. Life is easy, life is somehow good. However, it's the reverse when it comes to the SMEs and the medium-sized firms, because these small companies, they'll stretch you, they'll want you to be your best. You have to learn new things, you have to go out of your way to even be able to keep your job. It's not just a matter of showing up. Okay, so those are the different pointers that you need to consider when it comes to working for a large organization. As I've said, the grass is not always green on the other side. So you have to look at the pros and the cons and then decide, what am I looking for? And will getting this opportunity work for me?